The drama begins with Shin on her first day at school. She's searching for her classroom, and we soon learn that this is her final year of high school. By mistake, she bumps into a student named Jish. As she falls, Jish catches her, but his phone drops to the ground. When Shin tries to thank him, he leaves before she can say anything. During the student welcoming ceremony, the school administration introduces Jish to the students, announcing that he has achieved the highest IQ score of 200%, making him an exemplary student. Jish introduces himself to everyone, and the entire student body applauds him. We see that many girls, including Shin, are attracted to him, but she knows that seeing him often will be difficult because students with high grades have their own special building. We also learn that Jish, though being the smartest student in the school, is also interested in creativity and is the best at solving extremely difficult math problems in front of all the students. Later, Shin and the other girls receive a message that Jish is at a cafe and will soon pass by their building. All the girls rush to see him and follow him until he enters his building. In one of Jish's seminars, he talks about childhood cancer, and we see Shin and the other girls attending. At the same time, a photo of Jish with a girl named Shaho, who is in his class, appears, leading the girls to believe they have a relationship. Shin becomes upset upon seeing this and spends the rest of the day staring at his picture. Her friends tell her to snap out of her daydream. At this point, a classmate named Ajin approaches Shin, giving her flowers and confessing that he likes her and wants to be in a relationship, but Shin declines, saying she loves Jish and plans to confess her feelings to him soon. Her friends decide to help her by creating a distraction in the classroom so that Shin can go meet Jish during the break. She goes to the building where the high IQ students are, and when she sees Jish, she gives him a gift and confesses her love, hoping he will accept her feelings. However, Jish rejects her, saying it's impossible because he doesn't like girls who are not intelligent and act foolishly, and then he walks away. Shin feels embarrassed and thanks God that no one saw her. However, the security camera operator has seen everything and spreads the video among all the students. Soon, the students surround Shin, taking pictures of her. When she returns home, she finds that the video has been shared on social media, with everyone mocking her. At the same time, she sees her father leaving the house, telling her to run, but she doesn't understand why. She then notices that many rats are coming out of the house, and the house suddenly collapses. The press arrives at the scene and interviews Shin and her father, asking them what happened. The media reports that they are a homeless family, and news about them spreads quickly. Shin's classmates, including Ajin and his friends, start a fundraising campaign to help her. Shin tries to hide but is caught and brought to the place where the money is being collected. However, she refuses the help. Jish arrives at the scene and starts mocking her, saying that her father was wrong for buying a cheap house. Shin becomes angry and defends her father, saying he worked hard to buy a house so she could attend the best schools. She asserts that grades are not a measure of a person's character and challenges Jish in front of everyone, declaring that in the upcoming exam, she will be one of the top students and her name will be listed alongside his. When Shin returns to her father, she gathers her belongings from the rubble, and her father tells a friend named Ali about what happened. Ali then offers them a place to stay in his home until their situation improves. Then Ali's assistant arrives to pick them up in the car. When they arrive at Ali's house, he warmly welcomes them, and even his wife greets Shin kindly. She introduces Shin to her little son, Yusho. Amy, Ali's wife, takes Shin to show her the room she will be staying in, and during their conversation, Shin learns that Amy's older son also attends the same school as her. Amy proudly mentions that her son is famous throughout the school and adds that she always wished to have a daughter like Shin so they could be friends. She even jokes that Shin might one day become her son's bride. Shin then confesses to Amy that she likes a boy from her school even though he rejected her love. Before going to bed, Shin tries to burn the pictures of Jish, but she can't bring herself to do it. Everywhere she looks, she sees his picture, even on her bed linens. Suddenly, Jish appears in front of her and she is startled. That's when she realizes that Jish is Ali and Amy's son. He asks her to throw away all his pictures, but she refuses and says, "Don't come near anything that belongs to me." Jish replies, "You're right, it's none of my business even though we're living in the same house," and leaves her room. The next morning, as Jish is leaving for school on his bike, his mother asks him to stop and suggests that he give Shin a ride to school. When Shin joins him, she is visibly happy, but halfway down the road, Jish stops and tells her, Be careful not to tell anyone we live in the same house, and always keep at least 5 meters away from me." He leaves her there and continues on his way. While at school, Amy sends Shin a video message showing Jish playing, which makes Shin laugh. She sends Jish the video, and he requests a private meeting with her. All the other girls notice this, surprised. Shin says, "Weren't you the one who told me not to come near you? Now you're the one asking to meet me." Jish shows her the video and asks her to delete it from her phone. Shin sees an opportunity and makes a deal with him. He must help her with her studies so she can become one of the top students, or else she'll share the video with the entire school. Jish agrees to her terms, and Shin is delighted. Jish begins tutoring her in math. We see that Shin struggles a lot, but after repeating the lesson several times, she starts to understand better. While at school, she spends the entire day studying, so focused that she barely notices anything around her. Ajin follows her around, protecting her from anything that might happen. At one point, Ajin even saves her from a falling flower pot. Meanwhile, Jish observes Shin as she studies. He tutors her through a particularly difficult math problem and tells her that it will be on the upcoming exam and that she must study hard for it. Shin works diligently, practicing until she can solve the problem correctly. She notices that Jish has fallen asleep from exhaustion, so she sits next to him, promising herself to meet his expectations and surpass them. Eventually, she falls asleep beside him. Jish's mother comes in and takes a picture of them both sleeping. On the day of the exam, Shin manages to complete all the questions. When the results are posted, she eagerly looks for her name among the top students but doesn't see it. The girls around her start mocking her for challenging the other students publicly. At that moment, the administration arrives with Jish, who points out that a name is missing from the list. After double-checking the results, they announce that Shin's scores place her among the top students. Jish writes Shin's name on the board in front of all the students, which angers the girls who liked him. On the other hand, Shin's friends are overjoyed by her success. Shin proudly says, "Finally, my name is written next to yours," and Jish congratulates her. She celebrates with her friends, jumping with joy. The scene then shifts to the 87th annual school sports competition. Ajin competes against Jish in a race, hoping to win so that Shin will choose him. However, Ajin loses, and Jish wins the race. We see Jish's mother standing among the girls who are cheering for her son. Then, she decides to send the picture of her son and Shin together to all the girls who were there, revealing to everyone that they are living in the same house. After that, Jish starts mocking Ajin because he won, and a fight breaks out between them. Shin steps in and tells Jish that Ajin is a good boy and doesn't insult people like he does. She adds that she doesn't like his arrogance. At that moment, one of Jish's friends plays a video on the screen where Shin says, "I love you," but Jish had refused her. Jish laughs, and all the students start mocking Shin. In response, Shin sends the video of the students playing to everyone, and they all start laughing at Ajin. Then, the two groups start fighting. Jish takes Shin to a secluded place, asking her why she did that. She replies that he always treats her poorly in front of her friends, so she hopes to forget her feelings for him one day. She adds that when she finishes school, she will meet a very handsome boy and start a relationship with him. Jish gets closer and tells her that she will never be able to forget him, then walks away. When Shin returns home, she sits with Amy. Amy says she is happy that Shin has feelings for her son and tells her that Jish changed from the day she came into their home. She explains that Jish doesn't get along well with his father because his father is always busy with work. Amy adds that everyone assumes Jish will inherit his father's company, but she only wants her son to live happily, and she sees that he can find that happiness with Shin. This makes Shin very happy, and she reassures Amy not to worry because she will always stand by Jish. The next day, Jish has an important exam that will determine his ability to study abroad. Shin prepares a lucky charm and places it in his bag, wishing him success. However, when he arrives at the exam, he slips on the stairs and is late. As he tries to write, his pen breaks. He feels like something bad is happening to him and remembers what Shin put in his bag. He thinks that the charm is causing his misfortune and rushes to the restroom. Afterward, he goes to get a drink, and we see that Shin is secretly watching him. When she sees that he is okay, she decides to go back home, but unfortunately, she gets into an accident. Jish sees it from afar and runs to her, finding her unconscious. He takes her to the hospital. When she wakes up, she finds herself at home and fears that Jish missed his exam because of her. At that time, Jish is sitting with his father and says that he doesn't want to take the exam, not because of Shin, but because he doesn't want to inherit the company. His father gets angry, and his mother is also upset. Jish explains that he can do everything they want, but only they will be happy, not him. He asks them to let him do what he loves and not force him into anything. He apologizes for what happened and leaves. Shin overhears everything and goes to apologize to his father for what happened, then leaves to find Jish. When she finds him, she tries to comfort him, telling him that he's different from others and deserves to do what he loves. She advises him to follow his passions and assures him that she will always be there to support him. Jish then decides to live away from his family and become responsible for himself. We see his father angry and refusing to say goodbye as Jish leaves. Jish goes to Donan University of Technology, and Shin finds out that he's working at an animal care facility. She goes to see how he's doing, bringing a small worm with her. She tells him to examine it and asks if he will be okay if he gets enough sleep and eats well. He says he's okay and tells her to leave so he can continue his work. That night, she sends him food and goes to give it to him. However, she follows him to find out where he lives. At that time, she sees a girl from her class, Shaho, waiting outside. They both enter the house together, and Shin stands outside, feeling angry. She notices that the lights are off and assumes they are asleep, realizing that they are living together. The next day, she asks Ajin to help her keep an eye on Jish and Shaho as they walk around the garden together. Jish sees this and asks Shin what she is doing there. She replies that they are celebrating Love Day. Shaho starts taking many pictures of Shin and Ajin, and Jish appears visibly upset. To make Shin angry, he takes a picture with Shaho. Later, Ajin makes a deal with a car driver to run away with his lover when she arrives, but unfortunately, Shaho shows up. The driver speeds off with Shaho in the car, despite Ajin asking him to come back, but no one listens. Jish arrives and takes Shin with him, and they both get on a boat. Jish asks why she came there, and she tells him that she saw him and Shaho entering the house together. She asks what they were doing, and Jish tells her a story about a little boy named Nana who has cancer. He explains that his father's company and Shaho's father's company decided to donate money to the hospital for children with cancer. That's why he was with Shaho, waiting for a call about the important supplies needed by the hospital. He confides that his dream is to become a great doctor, not to inherit his father's company. He tells Shin that she is the first person he's ever told about his dream. Out of joy, Shin stands up but falls into the river, and Jish jumps in after her. When they get out, they see that the last car has left, so they decide to stay in a hotel for the night. Later, they change into the clothes they brought with them, and Jish goes out to get some food. Shin starts feeling scared, so she grabs an umbrella and goes out to find him. However, she feels like someone is following her, and in her fear, she drops the umbrella and starts running. She then sees Jish, who asks her why she came out. She tells him that she felt scared, so he gives her his jacket. They return to the hotel, and as Jish falls asleep, Shin says, "The woman who becomes your wife in the future will be very lucky." She then asks that woman to love him more than she loves herself. When Shin falls asleep, we see that Jish has overheard her, and he says to himself, "I will never find someone who loves me as much as you do." The next morning, when they wake up, Jish's mother calls and tells him that his father is in the hospital and is seriously ill. Jish and Shin go to the hospital, and Shin's father informs them that Jish's father has been suffering from a heart condition for a long time, which has worsened due to his work. The doctor informs them that he needs heart surgery and says that he will let them know when the surgery will take place. Jish's assistant informs him that the company is facing financial difficulties and that the company's founders want to hold a meeting for which Jish's father is responsible for all decisions. Jish decides to go to the company and tells his mother to take care of his father, asking her to keep him informed of any updates. He then leaves with his assistant. Shin follows him and sees Jish standing with Shaho, who brought some doctors specializing in heart conditions to examine his father and prepare for the surgery. Jish then goes to the company and tries to resolve the financial problems with the founders. Meanwhile, his father undergoes surgery and his condition remains uncertain. During this time, Jish recalls memories of his father, appearing visibly distressed. He begins reviewing the company's assets, transactions, and shares to find a solution to its financial issues. Exhausted, he falls asleep, and Shin comes in to cover him with a blanket. The next morning, when he wakes up, he realizes that he is late. He grabs his bag and leaves while drinking the coffee that Shin made for him. That evening, Shin waits outside the company holding an umbrella. When he comes out and sees her, he approaches her and she says, "I was worried about you. I brought this umbrella so you can protect yourself from the rain." He asks her not to help him with anything and tells her that he has no time for her as he is busy with work and his father. He also asks her to stay away from him. Later that night, we see Shin sitting alone somewhere, and her father comes to her and tells her that she should get a place of her own and leave the house, considering the feelings of the people who own it. He advises her to control her emotions, as he knows her to do. Shin agrees with him and takes his advice to heart. A few days later, Ali is feeling better, and his entire family is by his side, taking care of him. His father asks Jish what the relationship between him and Shaho is. Jish explains that if he marries Shaho, it will bring a significant investment to the company, which will help resolve its financial problems. His father tells him that if he wants to marry, he should marry the woman he loves. Just then, Shin arrives and says that she came to check on her uncle Ali's condition. Jish then informs her that he will be proposing to Shaho and putting his studies on hold. Shin congratulates him, though she feels heartache, and says, "I thought my dream would come true, but it's been abandoned. I won't be chasing after it anymore," before running away in tears. She then starts packing her things and leaves the house, informing Amy and Ali of her decision. Afterward, we see her working as a nurse at a hospital where she checks Facebook and sees Jish and Shaho. She learns that Jish is going to give a lecture at their former school. She hesitates to go, but eventually she decides to attend, hiding among the students to listen to his lecture. When she arrives at the venue, she sees Jish and hears him say, "The rumors you've heard were only about you. I wanted to find out if you still love me. When you showed up, I knew you still do." He confesses that he still loves her and has missed her terribly. He tells her that he has lived these past days only with memories of her because she is the only person who has ever touched his heart. Jish then asks her to marry him, and Shin, in disbelief that her dream is finally coming true, agrees, realizing that she will spend the rest of her life with the man she loves, Jish.